Hello YouTube, it's Shoe0nHead the Destroyer, and we are going to watch a new Shoe0nHead video, the male loser epidemic. So how much of this am I going to relate to? Anyway, grab your snackies, grab your bevies, let me know what you eat and drink down below. Let's get to watching. Also, excuse any of like the sniffles and the throat clearing. I have sinus problems. So sorry.
Hello again, friends. Sorry I've been gone for quite a bit. Hopefully nothing too crazy happened.
I'm waiting for the sandwich, baby. I'm just waiting for the sandwich.
I feel like every time I take a break, like a war breaks out or something, but thankfully that did not happen. But at least we found out the real Epstein files were the friends.
Oh my god.
Welcome back to the Shoe0nHead channel. If it is your first time here, run. I am Shoe0nHead, and on this channel I like to cover cultural issues mostly surrounding men's issues. It's what I've been doing for over a decade, and frankly, I'm exhausted.
If you're new here, do not go look at her comment section, probably. It's gonna affect your vibes.
Many of you have been along for the ride, and you have seen me go from a chipper, lively 24-year-old making fun of BuzzFeed and Tumblr feminists to a bitter, calloused 34-year-old talking about very real and growing men's issues. One of the main men's issues I have been covering in great detail lately has been the male loneliness epidemic. Yeah, but turns out I was wrong. We don't have a male loneliness epidemic. We have a male loser epidemic. It's not a male loneliness epidemic. No, it's a male mediocrity epidemic. It's a male loser epidemic.
The male loser epidemic has gotten so bad that it's honestly so pathetic at this point.
Oh, we have gotten to a weird place, I think. And I feel like nobody wins.
Now, I don't always talk about men's issues. No, sometimes I talk about politics, and sometimes I mix the two together. Now, I know a lot of you don't like politics. You don't care about
Shoe0nHead not sure how much it will help, but something I do when my sinuses are clogged is put a pot of water on the stove, set to low to medium heat, and add various herbs and spices, and inhale the steam. Clears the sinuses pretty well.
Thank you for the bits and the suggestion. At some point, I'm going to take a shower and just lather Vicks Vapor Rub all over my body. But I'm not going to do that on stream, so, you know.
But politics cares about you, and it will enter your life no matter how hard
Does
you try to
it?
avoid it. But thankfully, I have the perfect app to help you navigate this difficult, confusing political landscape. So let's quickly give a shout out to today's sponsor, Ground News, before we get into this video, shall we? Ground News is a website and an app that gives readers a fun and transparent way to read the news from all across the political spectrum, from left, right, and center. Every story comes with a quick visual breakdown of the political bias, ownership, and headlines that helps you understand the full story and make sure you're getting both sides. One of my favorite features from Ground News has to be the blind spot feature, which shows you news stories that have been covered by only one side of the political spectrum and ignored by the other. For example, here is a story about how the CIA uncovered a Russiagate fraud, and right away we can see how it has been covered by 41 sources, and out of those 41 sources, 93% of them lean right, with only 2 left-wing outlets reporting the story. Ground News also makes it really easy to compare headlines to see just how political bias can affect the framing of a.
Can I just be honest? First of all, I took a Benadryl because I'm having allergy problems, and that's why I'm kind of sick. So if I'm a little off, that's why. Second of all, she's so pretty. Look at her makeup. She looks so pretty here. Anyway.
Story. For example, this story about Zohran Mamdani winning the Democratic primary in New York. This left-leaning outlet says, Zohran Mamdani's win just got a little sweeter. And meanwhile, the right-wing outlet says, meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who will ruin New York. As you can see, very different vibes. I have been using Ground News since 2021 because I think it is so informative, so fun, and it helps me see how different stories are framed so differently, and I love it. I highly recommend it. It's one of the few apps that I wake up and just immediately check. But don't just take my word for it. Even the Nobel Peace Center called it an excellent way to stay informed, avoid echo chambers, and expand your worldview.
Crazy.
Best of all, I am
I mean, the fact that they're pointing out echo chambers is pretty good.
Currently offering 40% off their Vantage plan, which is the plan I use to access all of their amazing features. This comes out to only like $5 a month, which is like the price of a coffee. So go to ground.news/shoe or use the QR code right there on screen, or the link in the video description down there to subscribe to Ground News today. I feel like what they're doing is really important, especially right now, and it helps us approach the news in a more fair and balanced way.
I'm gonna sound so obnoxious this whole stream. I'm sorry. I know I keep clearing my throat. I'm so sorry.
So thank you to Ground News for sponsoring this video, and thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad.
I didn't. I was mystified. I was mystified by how pretty you are.
Now, let's get back to the video. With all these issues men are facing, they seem to be moving to the right and the Republicans more, since the left and Democrats have essentially just become the young men eat and die movement. Months ago, I covered how the Democratic Party was losing young men, and I predicted Kamala Harris would lose in part because of young men overwhelmingly voting for Trump. And I was correct. Well, now the Democrats have unveiled their final solution to the right-wing male loser epidemic. Democrats spending millions to learn how to speak to American men and win back the working class.
Don't be a shitbag. Don't blame every fucking problem or go after it. It's not even... We've just, like, turned men into punching bags in a weird way. I don't know. And by I say we, I mean, like, I don't know, women, female society, something? I'm not even sure. I'm not sure who the fuck the we is. Because I'm not saying, like, you know, Democrats, but I guess Democrats kind of have. A lot of people just kind of... Men are the problem. Society is the fucking problem. There's a lot of problems. But if you target a single demographic and villainize them, like, that's not good. I don't know how to explain that to you. That's not going to solve anything. Stop doing that.
Democrats have blown millions of dollars on efforts to appeal to American men who turned to President Donald Trump in droves on Election Day in hopes of winning back the working class. Democrats have spent $20 million on their efforts, with donors and strategists holing up in luxury hotel rooms, brainstorming how to convince working class men to return to the party. Ah yes, nothing more relatable to working class men than luxury hotel rooms. Great job, guys.
I missed it. What?
Working class men, then luxury hotel rooms.
Okay.
Great job, guys. The plan? Codename SAM, or Speaking with American Men, a strategic plan, promises to use the funds to study the syntax, language, and content that gains attention and virality in these spaces. The effort also...
First of all, I don't know, man. Sex kind of sells. It always kind of sells. But more importantly, don't do that, please. Do not use that. But, but more importantly... I don't know why y'all didn't catch on to the working class issue where you got to talk to the working class and you need to represent them and you need to represent their values and what they need and you need to let them know that that's what's happening. Like, you actually have to talk about it. Why are y'all dumb? Why is everybody dumb?
Recommends Democrats buy advertisement in video games, among other things. The Democratic Party is treating young men like exotic animals they're studying. Now, as you can see here, is the young man in his natural habitat, in a dark, messy cave surrounded by Taco Bell wrappers and empty Mountain Dew bottles.
Why does this dude... Okay. Brother, I see 3 A1 steak sauce things. Is Asmongold. Is he the one that does the $2 like steaks? Does he just drown it in A1 sauce? Like, legitimately? Like, does he just drown those little steaks in A1? That can't be healthy. You have so much money, I am begging you to get better steaks. I just...
Here is another young man, as you can see, also dwelling in a dark cave. This one has dyed his hair blue to scare off potential predators. Unfortunately, it also scares off potential mates. But moving on, here is another young man We think we're not quite sure about this one. We're still studying it. Listen, Democrats, instead of spending $20 million to do that
funny.
stupid, maybe you should, I don't know, actually listen to men. I listen to men for free all the time. All I have to do is read my comment section. Let's see here. Shoe0nHead is a perfect example of why we need to repeal the 19th. Greetings from Albania. I hate women so much it's unreal. Ooh, shoo, mommy, milkies, 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 mommy, mommy, mommy. One time I got my penis stuck in a soda bottle. Okay, on second thought, maybe my comment section is not the best source.
Since Trump scored big with young male voters last election, Democrats are spending $20 million to learn how to speak their language. I think it's a waste of money. Maybe these guys should spend their money.
I'm going to say something, and it's going to make a lot of you mad, but I'm going to say it anyway. Maybe our government and the people running everything shouldn't be people that have no idea how the internet works. I said it. Maybe. I was so surprised when there was a bill proposed to put age limits on Congress or whatever, and I'm like, I have trust issues. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. 100%. Let's get some age limits or whatever, or term limits or whatever the hell it was. I don't remember. Into Congress. I'm totally okay with that. 100%. But I don't trust the fact that my state was involved in this bill. And so I'm like, what are you hiding? What else is in this bill, right? Because I have trust issues. Especially about my state. So, maybe we should get some young blood in there. And I'm not even, just have some younger people working for you that you actually listen to, if nothing else. Talk to people. Just talk to people. I don't understand why there's this whole thought process of just it's like they're talking to me and I don't understand. I make that joke, by the way. Sometimes someone will say something to me. Usually though, it is Abby or Ricey, and they'll say something to me and I'm like, it's like you're trying to communicate with me. I have no idea what you just said. But it's just it's not hard to just have a conversation. And if you don't understand what they're saying, ask them what they are saying. Generally, people will change how they talk to you and the linguistics that they use so that you can understand when you're actively trying to have a conversation with them. Imagine a conversation. It goes both ways. Conversations. I'm not currently having a conversation. I'm currently talking at you. Conversations goes both ways, guys. Come on. Oh my God, just listen. Just talk to them. Older people don't listen to younger people. Well, okay, but listen, they're trying to represent them in our government. I've said this before and I'll say this again. Quit idolizing government people that work in the government. Your elected leaders or whatever. I understand that leader is in the name, but they're supposed to be working for you. That is why we vote for them. They're supposed to be working for your best interest. That's why you can call up a lot of them and complain, all right? You could call their offices and complain about them to them, or at least their secretaries or whatever. They're supposed to be representing you and working for you. Working for you. I feel like we've missed this plot somewhere. We've forgotten that little tidbit. It's really annoying to me personally. I'm going to be 100%.
On teaching men to not be such sexists. Maybe that's
But the stats don't bear that out now.
God.
Look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh.
First of all, when I read the stay-at-home sons thing, I was like, okay, so... Okay, no, I'm just gonna... okay, oh my God. First of all, the the cost of living, right? This is a crisis. We've been calling it a crisis for a while. It's an issue. Like, it's an ongoing issue because our wages aren't going up, but inflation is going up, and it's like a whole fucking thing, right? It is a touchy subject for everybody. I don't have a single motherfucking problem with guys who are like, I'm gonna live with my parents until I can afford my own place or something like that. Or I'm gonna live with my parents and save money until I feel the need to go and get my own place, and that, I'm saving money. I have no fucking issue with that whatsoever. It's annoying because this is also like a culture thing, and a lot of cultures, they already do that you stay with your parents until you get married. So I don't think that's an issue, like, to me. And then also I was like, oh, is she gonna start talking shit about stay-at-home husbands or whatever, like stay-at-home fathers? I don't have an issue. That's not what they're talking about, but I don't have an issue with that either. I don't like this whole feminization of it. Shut the fuck up. If, say, the woman in the relationship wants to go be a boss-ass bitch at work, and it's like, hey, we should get childcare, or one of us should stay home, and the father's like, I could stay home. Sure, I don't understand why there's so much of a drama, whatever the fuck, related to stay-at-home fathers. I don't get it. I do not get it. Shut the fuck up. First of all, mind your business. Second of all, let people do in their lives what they want to do as long as they're not fucking hurting anybody, okay? Again, mind your business. And like, who cares? You're either complaining that the father has nothing fucking to do with the family, or you're now complaining that it's feminization of men. Oh my God. Jesus, it's not sustainable. Just let people be happy with whatever the fuck they decide. If everyone involved is happy, mind your business.
A lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash.
Oh no. The very night I was sitting on my couch writing the script to my video about how the Democrats are spending $20 million to relate to young men, this came on my TV on Fox News. A Tommy Lahren and Laura Ingraham segment about stay-at-home sons, men who still live at home. Literally minutes after this aired, it went absolutely viral on Twitter for not good reasons. So we are going to unpack this piece by piece. Because even though everyone was mocking
Unpack it, baby. I'm mad about it.
it and making fun of it, as far as I saw, nobody was really dissecting it and breaking down exactly why she was so egregiously wrong. So come join me in debunking the male loser epidemic. Because who else better equipped to talk about men's issues than two stupid blonde bimbos? Hold on one second. 3 stupid blonde bimbos. Sorry. I felt left out. All right, let's go. Wait.
I don't have a blonde thing I can put on. Damn it.
I need my gamer fuel. See? I do drink it. That one's for you, Tectone.
It's a major problem. And Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know. But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. But Laura, I gotta tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. That's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from.
Are we blaming it on women, or are we blaming it on very specifically, like the women are blaming it very specifically on like the not social safety nets the social safety nets that just don't fucking exist. Let's face it. Like oh my God. Not everyone blames it on everybody. That's fair. It is everyone's fault and no one's fault, therefore, I guess. I don't know. I guess it's just everyone's fault. It's just oh my God. It's scary.
And that's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates and a lot of other problems in society. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air, meet people in real life. Let's just get back to basics.
So first of all, this stay-at-home son thing is not a real thing. It was a random throwaway, self-deprecating joke some contestant on Jeopardy said. One f***ing guy. Because I guess there's nothing else important going on that they could cover on the news. They literally made this into a fake phenomena so they can on young men. Meanwhile, Democrats are spending millions of dollars trying to win back young men. Oh no, the young men are leaving us in droves. How do we get them back? Don't worry. I got this. Hey, you fat, lazy, Cheeto dust-covered slobs. F*** you. Nice. Thanks. I love you. I love you too.
Wow.
The amount of young men living home with their
That went away.
parents increasing. Yes. Is it because they're lazy bums and just want to order DoorDash all day? No. And also, they're not paying for DoorDash, Tommy. They're financing it. Come on. Get with the times.
There are a lot of young men
Jesus.
out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Even apartments cost a lot of money right now. Like just renting an apartment. Do you want to stay with and live with your parents or whatever and maybe not pay rent or pay very little rent? Because I know some people are like, you have to pay rent after like you're 18 or whatever. Pay reasonable rent. Or do you want to move out into an apartment that either is going to take the majority of your paycheck to just afford, or you move in with a bunch of strangers and you all have to cohabitate in this apartment? T'Challa. Quit meowing at me. Okay, sorry, my cat's talking to me. Like, come on.
And that's why we have declining birth rates. It's time to go out, get a job, breathe the fresh air.
Have either of you tried applying for a job as a young man recently? Or tried buying a house on the salary of one of these young men? Have you experienced the dating market, been on the dating sites as a young man? No? Interesting, okay. Just wondering. Listen, I know the average age of a Fox News viewer is like 70 nowadays and you need to pander to them, but Tommy, you are like 2 years younger than me. You know this shit isn't true. Why are you talking like this? Why are you talking like a f***ing boomer? I'm sorry, I have no other word for this.
Maybe she does think it's true because she's just, you know, being fed very specific information.
But I hate this like generational pick-me shit. I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not.
No, I was not born in the wrong generation because if I was, I wouldn't be able to do this shit and get money. Like, I just... Not only that, I do not dream of labor, all right? I like my internet currently where it is for the most part. I say for the most part because I very much curate my little spaces and I spend a lot of time on manga sites and AO3. But, like, you know, I like all my creature comforts that currently exist in this time frame. So I was not born in the wrong fucking generation. Miss me with that shit.
I was born in the wrong generation. I'm not like those other young people. And you know what? She's not like those other young people. Not all young people can afford a nice nose job and lip filler and get a cushy job on Fox News based entirely on merit, I'm sure. The main problem with this brain-dead boomer-ass take is not only is it cringe, but it's completely divorced from reality. This slop is specifically designed for people who paid like $5 for a f***ing house. And listen, not all boomers, okay? My parents are boomers, they are lovely people. A lot of you guys are boomers, but when the baby boomer generation sends its people, it is not sending their best. They are not sending you. They're sending people who have lots of problems. They're bringing the housing crisis. They're bringing wage stagnation. They're falling for AI-generated photos on Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my God, I truly believe they do not understand.
They're falling for the, I'm a lonely 20-something girl and you seem to have a lot of money that would really help me. Mm-hmm. Falling for that shit.
Facebook. But some, I assume, are good people. But my god, I truly believe they do not understand how good they had it. They could support a family on a single income. A single income from a job that didn't require a college degree. Their leaders didn't prostitute away their economic future for some cheap plastic shit from China. They inherited the greatest economy known to man, and they pretend it's a paradise that they earned. I just don't understand, like, why don't boomers and spiritual boomers like Tommy Lauren see people struggling and go, wow, I wish I could fix this. They should have it better than I had it. And you wonder why so
because they don't understand that their paradise economy or whatever was built on the backs of their parents and grandparents, and that they did that so they could have that paradise. And then instead of being like, oh, let's pay it forward, they were like, well, you should have to earn all the stuff that I earned. You didn't earn shit. That's not true. You did earn some stuff. But still, like, you didn't earn how great the prices for shit was and that kind of stuff. You were very privileged with a lot of things, and you go, kids nowadays just have it so easy. How do we have it easy? How? Explain it to me. We can't afford to live half the time. Like, our middle class is disappearing at a rate that is insane. Like, and our middle class can't afford the things that yours could. It is so wild to me. It's like they're literally not, they're very narrow-sighted, I feel. Like they have no concept of like zooming out and looking at the whole picture. And then when you try to bring it up to them and you try to explain stuff to them, they just don't understand. And it's like, I don't know how to force you to understand this, because it doesn't matter if I change the way I explain it to you and I give you visuals and stuff. You just don't understand it, and I don't understand.
many millennials and Zoomers don't want kids? I want to make the world a better place for my children. I want to make the world a better place for my children. Ugh. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, you spoiled brat. Children. Not happening.
Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men.
Young men are becoming lazy because they're becoming feminized. So they're becoming lazy because they act more like women? What did she mean by this, chat? I know there's like a decrease in testosterone or something happening, but men are moving right-wing all over the world. Does that correlate with the feminization? Or, I mean, there are suspiciously a lot of far-right femboys, so maybe. But here's the thing, Tammy.
Jesus.
There is absolutely no evidence that young women want to start families more than young men. None. In fact, all the data says the exact opposite. According to Pew Research, 64% of women younger than 50 say they just don't want to have children. No reason, they just don't want them. Versus 50% of men who say the same. Another study by Archbridge Institute shows the same. 63% of women without children said they have no desire to have a child, while only 50% of men said the same. For men, the most commonly cited factor was personal finance, but among women, the strongest reason not to have a child was their desire to maintain their personal independence.
Because in a society, who is expected to drop everything and change everything, but also do all of the work when it comes to children? Like, no offense, but it's very much like, oh, you as a woman needs to go through, I'm so sorry, basically the horrors of pregnancy and childbirth. Look it up, okay? A lot of things change. Like, is it a miracle? I don't know. That's your decision, but a lot of stuff happens, okay? It's 'cause you just maybe don't look it up, but also do. Like childbirth and pregnancy and stuff like that. And then almost immediately, you have to now immediately start taking care of the child because it can't function by itself. And then also do like expected to, keep up with like housework to a degree, even if the housework is only like child related housework. Like, your body just basically turned inside out for a minute. You are in, like, a lot of pain. Your organs aren't stabilized yet, and you're immediately expected to just hurry up and get onto it. Like, and I'm not saying that is everyone's experience, okay? Because there are people that have very, good relationships and a very strong support system and all this other stuff. But that's, in society's mind, how it should be. Support systems, man, like.
Basically, they don't want to give up their brunch and mimosas. They've been ass-blasted with propaganda their whole lives, telling them their lives will be ruined, their bodies will be ruined, they'll never have fun again, they'll be miserable forever if they have children. And as someone who has had a children, best decision I've ever made. 10/10, highly recommend, would do it again. But yes, this idea that men are the ones primarily responsible for the low birth rates is laughable. We're laughing over here. But honestly, it's not really women or men's fault. There are a lot of factors that play into this. But Tommy, I really gotta ask, is it men or is it you?
This is gonna be the summer of canceling boys. All of my friends are attractive. All of my friends are successful. All of my friends have something going on. Almost every single one of them have an issue with men. But if all of these women, including myself, are having issues, then I have to think, it might not be us. It might be you. It is not just the guys in Los Angeles, Nashville, Dallas, and they're not any better in the Midwest. Quite frankly, I think they're trash all over this country.
My friends are successful. Men don't give a shit about that. They'd marry a Walmart cashier if she was nice to them.
I think men between the ages of 20 and 30 are not ready, in most cases, for marriage, are usually not ready to be husbands and fathers.
That's a cultural issue. So, look,
No, I would actually, back to your point, I think it's a biological thing.
So let me...
Maybe it's societal expectations and therefore a cultural issue. I'm not gonna say I haven't met people that are like, I'm a guy and I should be with multiple women at once and blah, 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 blah. It's extremely rare that I have met someone like that, but I have met someone like that, and I'm just like, okay, well, you know, I hope everyone involved in you is happy with the arrangement. I don't fucking know. Like, it's none of my business, really. You know, whatever. But like, what do you think marriage is? Like, I'm so confused. Is it not just like supporting one another together? What do you think it is?
Let me get this straight. Men are all trash and won't commit and won't leave mommy's basement, and they're destroying the birth rates. But also young men are biologically incapable of commitment and being parents. What? But wait, there's more! She also believes women don't have to bring anything to the table.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be, that will protect me, protect my family, make money. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector and a provider.
Like, she might be making the statement of, like, I shouldn't have to work after getting married or some shit like that. And that is a conversation that you need to have with, like, the person that your significant other, basically. Because, like, can you even afford to be a one-income household? Most people in this country cannot. The grand majority cannot afford that, actually. But, like, that is, sure, okay, whatever. You can be a trad wife if that's what you want, I guess. You know, whatever. That's up to you and the person that you're dating, I suppose. But, you know, I think bare minimum what they should get out of it is, you know, someone who is... Why are my cats freaking out? Who is, like, you know, gonna have your back, who's gonna support you emotionally, who's gonna support you from the home. Something. At least affection. I assume. Like, I don't know, maybe y'all getting into contract marriages or some shit. Whatever, as long as everybody's happy with the arrangement, I guess. But good luck finding that perfection that you want.
If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
Never before in history have women demanded so much and offered so little. So before we get deeper into this retarded, manufactured, stay-at-home son narrative, let's check the Facebook comments of this Fox News video, because I am really interested to see what, like, the typical Fox News viewer thinks about this. If the women are anything like these two, I can hardly blame the men for staying home and not wanting to date them. Blame, blame, blame. These two women have a combined age of 93 and they have 0 children between both of them. You both have 100 personality types, so listening to this was like male birth control to me. My goodness!
Jesus.
Women are ruthless. Bunch of sissies. I served 6 years, 2 years in Southeast Asia after Vietnam was over. When I was 18, rent was $450 and I could afford to get my own place. She's so spot on. Nothing screams I'm a loser run from me than a guy living at home in his parents' house with his 12-year-old boy's bedroom decor at age of 30. Thank God we raised our sons to be men, who grew up, lived on their own, found their soulmate, got married, bought a beautiful home, and started a family. I was out the door at 18, worked on the assembly line at Dodge and in the Air Force at 19, never went back home. I can't relate to this. Yes, we know you people can't relate. We know. But the world has changed. Why can't you people get this through your heads? I will never let my sons stay home. I'm trying to push them out of the nest. Okay, I really gotta ask, is this an Anglo thing? Immediately kicking your kid out when they turn 18 years old? My Mediterranean mind cannot comprehend this. And honestly,
Yeah. We don't really do multi-generational households. Not really.
why the f would a man leave home, leave his mother's cooking, for a woman who probably can't cook? Not me though. Personally, I can cook amazing homemade meals. I'll have you know I am a great trad wife.
Yes! Oh, in the microwave too! You didn't even... You didn't splurge for the air fryer. Straight in the microwave.
Bone apple teeth.
Well, unfortunately, Tom...
Bone apple teeth. Listen, if you wanna make it even better, you put it in the oven and you put like what, Parmesan and like, oh, what is it? Tomato sauce or something on top of the chicken parm. Nanonagi chicken parm. I'm so mad about that one video. Like it's marinara. Okay, yeah. Just bone apple teeth. Oh my god. Bless.
Bone apple teeth.
Now, unfortunately, Tommy Lauren wasn't the only one pushing this stupid, lazy young men go get a job bullshit. Mike Johnson did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise did it with Mike Johnson.
It's not for 29-year-old males sitting on their couch playing video games. We're going to find those guys and we will send them back to work. That's so weirdly threatening.
Did it, referencing 29-year-old men playing video games all day. Steve Scalise.
The 35-year-old who's sitting in his mom's basement playing video games is gonna have to get a job.
He did it with 35-year-old men playing video games all day. And just the other night, I saw this on my TV. Again.
A Wall Street Journal headline got our attention. The new dream job for young men, stay-at-home son. It's a phrase.
First of all, it's the year 2025. How much of us truly dream of labor? Like, legitimately. I'm not being an asshole about this. I mean, like, legitimate. How many of us really dream of just working our asses off for a company that is not going to support us in our old age? Like, I just... Do we have retirement? Do we have 401k? Do we have legitimate benefits that's going to allow us to retire with enough income to be able to live our lives without working in our 70s? I'm just saying...
Has taken off since 27-year-old Brendan Leo won $59,000 on Jeopardy. And he has a master's degree in political science, but he's unemployed. Grow up, get a job, get a wife, build a family.
Just get a wife, bro. Just get a job, bro.
Oh, get a job? Yeah. Just get a job? Why don't I strap on my job helmet and squeeze down into a job cannon and fire off into jobland, where jobs grow on jobbies?
The term welfare queen must have fell out of fashion with Republicans, because it seems even they know the approved safe demographic to go after now. Because it's very obvious what demographic they are talking about when they say young men in their basements playing video games. This just get a job lazy attitude is not surprising, but it's especially especially funny coming from Fox News of all places. Fox News that spends so much time yapping about immigrants taking American jobs. Fox News will talk for years about how Americans are being screwed out of the workforce. But when this issue manifests itself in Gen Z, suddenly it's a moral failure. The fact is, a lot of American jobs held by men are being lost to automation, offshoring, and yes, cheap foreign labor.
Yep.
Companies and billionaires would rather have cheap labor that they can essentially abuse, not pay fair wages to, just good little worker drones who won't unionize, rather than hire American workers for a living wage. The cheaper the labor they hire, the more money they make. I remember when Bernie Sanders called open borders a Koch brothers conspiracy.
Open borders?
Open
borders. That's a Koch brothers proposal, which says essentially there is no United States.
But it
Anybody
would make a lot
me.
of global poor richer, wouldn't it?
And it'd make everybody in America poor. Then you're doing away with the concept of a nation state.
Where'd that guy go? A lot of these jobs being taken are jobs traditionally held by men, like construction and factory jobs, manual labor work. But it's not just manual labor jobs, it's also the tech industry and business industry, which are careers also mainly held by men. There are many examples of this, such as Microsoft recently cutting thousands of American workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year. Some of those
A question. How many people see like news articles or tweets or whatever talking about how X big corporation has laid off thousands of people on a weekly, if not daily basis? It really does feel like a weekly thing, at least. And I very much curate my space to where I don't really see those posts that often. So the fact that I'm seeing it on a weekly fucking basis is like a problem. Like, we're laying up. Okay, I had a friend who and this is something you have to legitimately be concerned about, by the way. But I had a friend who worked at a job, would go and be like, hey, I'm working this job and everyone else that's in this field that is in my job is getting this amount of money. I would like a raise. And he got a raise. And then he got a raise again because like he'd been working there for like a certain amount of time and he was supposed to get a raise. It was in his like contract or whatever that he would get a raise if he worked X amount of time. I think it was like a year or whatever. So he would get a raise. And then eventually they decided that they were paying him too much, so they fired him, and then they rehired someone else at a lower starting pay. So it wasn't that he was a problem. It wasn't that, like, he wasn't doing his job, because he was doing his job. It was literally just like, oh, we're paying him too much, when we can hire somebody else for cheaper and just continuously do that. We're like, We'll give you a raise. We'll give you a raise. Hey, you're making too much money. You're fired. We're going to hire somebody for lower. Like, that's a legitimate thing that happens. That is why there's this whole kind of discourse of like, why are younger people not loyal to the company that they work for? Why are they not loyal to these corporations they work for? But these companies and these corporations aren't loyal to their workers. So why would you do that? Why would you be super loyal and put everything into this company or this corporation that doesn't see you as a human being? They see you as at best a worker bee that they can replace very easily. Do you think the 9,000 people that worked at Microsoft don't deserve to have a job? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Workers while requesting 14,000 more H-1B workers this year.
Also, they're laying 9,000 off and wanting 14,000. Why? Because they have decided it is cheaper for them to pay the 14,000 whatever, the visa people, than the 9,000 that they have had employed.
Here, some of those job positions include data scientists, which are 70% men, software developers, which are 80% men, and electronic engineers, which are 90% men, and many more like that. Another example of this was Tesla, where roughly 15,000 American employees were fired in April 2024, and many were replaced with H-1B visa holders. On Twitter, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy tried to chalk this up to these immigrants just simply being the best and the brightest. Yeah, okay. You're paying them less for longer hours and more work, and they're willing to deal with it in order to stay in the country. It's coercive, exploitative, and, dare I say, not very America first. When conservatives confronted Elon Musk for this last year, he told somebody, and I quote, "Take a big step back and yourself in the face. I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend."
The reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B.
So when it comes to replacing American workers in manual labor with cheap foreign labor, it's deport, deport, deport. But when it comes to replacing his American workers with cheap foreign labor, it's yourself in the face. Interesting. There's also affirmative action and DEI, which are other things Fox News always pisses and shits about. But suddenly, when the conversation is about Gen Z men, the demographic of people who are victims of these things, suddenly these things just like don't exist anymore. Then it's, oh, young men are all just lazy. They just want to be in their parents' basement ordering DoorDash and playing video games. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. I am not beating the allegations with this one. The brown people are not taking your jobs, okay? It's not their fault. They're just cheaper. Aim upwards. But it's not just the brown people taking your jobs. It's the women, too. Many of the dying industries are male-dominated, while many of the growing industries are female-dominated, and stigma around these jobs being woman jobs usually stops men from working them. Women are overwhelmingly entering and excelling in college and the workforce, and they're more flexible about job position and pay, while young men usually hold out for higher-paying, higher-position jobs that will make them the breadwinner. Because you see, despite the world progressing and the role of women changing, the role of men has not changed. Every woman is a feminist until the dinner bill comes. But what's crazy is, women might be the ones paying that dinner bill soon. A study from the UK found women aged 22 to 29 earned about 1,000 more annually than men, completely reversing the traditional gender pay gap for this age group. In the US, a 2022 Pew Research Center analysis showed that women under 30 out-earned men in many metropolitan areas, with median earnings at or above 100% of men's, in cities like New York and Washington, D.C. That may not sound like a lot of money now, but it's a growing trend that has never been seen before. It's so bad that it's really starting to affect the dating world. American women have never been this resigned to staying single. They are responding to major demographic shifts, including huge and growing gender gaps in economic and educational attainment, political affiliation, and beliefs about what family should look like. More women than men are attending college, buying houses, and focusing on their friendships and careers over dating and marriage. The challenges of finding a—
Oh man, it's almost like, you know, when women are in the workforce and they're working a lot and they're getting like money that they can live off of, they don't feel the need to enter into a relationship or a marriage to help finance themselves. Which is like kind of sad. Like not that, but that's what kind of the society belief system is, kind of, right? Like it is what it is. I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like, why don't we just like, hey, it's a partnership. To me, marriage is a partnership, right? So it's like a partnership. You should be supporting each other, not necessarily financially, but like in other ways.
Romantic partner have been made more complicated by a growing divide in education and career prospects between men and women. In 2024, 40% of American women ages 25 to 34 had a bachelor's degree, according to Pew, compared to 37% of men. A bachelor's degree increases net lifetime earnings by an estimated $1 million. Women are doing comparatively well when it comes to education in their early years in the labor force, and men are doing comparatively badly. Men's economic struggles seem to be having the biggest effect on women without a college degree, whose marriage rates by 45 have plummeted to 52% for those born between 1930 and 1980, according to research by Cornell University. Young men without a degree are struggling so much as a group that there simply aren't enough with steady jobs and earnings for non-college women to date. Men are poor, women most affected. Modern women are no longer tied to their gender role. Birth control has freed them from the prison that is their biology, and they are making their own money, sometimes more than men. They can have it all, they can do anything, they can be anything. While at the same time, men are still expected to be the provider. And more importantly, many men still want to be the provider but they can't. And women, though strong and independent, still want men to be the provider.
And as a woman, I want a strong man who is a protector and a provider that will go to war if need be.
I really think that this just societal, like, belief system is just really damaging in general. Like, quit being like, the man has to be the provider. Your partners, you're entering in a partner relationship. Like, I get it, but like, marriage is a partnership. Okay? You're supposed to be supporting each other. It doesn't matter if one of you is out earning the other. It doesn't matter who is the stay-at-home parent. It doesn't matter. It is between you and your partner. And that's it.
That will protect me, protect my family, make money.
Basically, men are like, we're worried we're not making enough money. And women are like, we're worried men are not making enough money. Hello class, I am Miss On Head. I am substituting for your teacher today. She was arrested for molesting a 12-year-old boy. So today we are learning about the graph. This is the growth in productivity versus hourly compensation graph. And you can trace almost everything bad happening in society back to this graph. As you can see, productivity increased while compensation barely grew over the same time period. Notice they tracked very closely up until around 1972. Now, what happened around 1972, class? Well, the top marginal tax rate was reduced from 70% in 1964 to 50% by 1981. The federal minimum wage began to stagnate. Income going to the 1% rose from 9% in the 60s to 16% in 2023. CEOs also went from making 20 times more than the average worker to making 350 times more than the average worker. Anything else? Anything else happen around 1972? Yes, Jimmy, that is correct. Women joined the workforce around this time, but we don't have to get into that today. The fact is, hard work no longer guarantees success, and the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because
Oh my god, the whole thing of like, we're a family. No the fuck we're not. Give me my paycheck. Like, we're not a family. We're trauma bonded, maybe. Like, I hate that workplace bullshit. We're a family here. That's a red flag. That is a red flag. No, I'm here for my paycheck. Some of you are acting like you're just here to get a paycheck. Because I am. I am here just to get a paycheck. Why the fuck would I be here if it wasn't to get paid? Why would I go through the trauma that is working at this place? And the stress that is working at this place? Let me tell you, my last job, right? Like, I was a pharmacy tech. I walked out of there after over 7 years, and like almost everyone that worked that job, including people who started after me, were on anxiety medication by the time I left. Like, and when I say on anxiety medication, they didn't start the job on anxiety medication, okay? This is a pharmacy tech job. It was crazy, especially like during the pandemic, because we still had to work during the pandemic, and like people just did not give a shit about you during the pandemic. Like, hey, I have COVID, I'm gonna walk up in the store. Why the fuck are you in here? Why are you physically in the store without a mask on, breathing all over me, and like just being like, oh, by the way, I have COVID? Like, get the fuck out of here. We have a drive-through for a reason. What are you doing? Jesus Christ. Okay, anyway, just, I was like, man, if there's like something during the pandemic that's like healthcare heroes work here, they're not getting PPO. Like, they're not getting, you know, anything extra. They're not getting stuff that protects them from this virus. They're not getting extra, like, hazard pay. They're not getting shit all. But like, I'm just saying, corporations do not care about you. And you can tell when they start actively firing people left and right just so they can have less people working for them. Anyway, skeleton crews drive me insane. Skeleton crews drive me absolutely insane. But like, yeah, it's just if you died, they would have a job posting the next day. Yeah. I mean, it's just the whole thing, really.
And the will to work is tied to the fruits of your labor. And young men are fed up today because 90% of that fruit is rotten. Now, is there some truth to modern young people being lazy? Sure, I guess. Every generation had lazy people. And we do basically live in late-stage mouse utopia, after all. Young people today are faced with two options: revolution or escapism. And a lot of them are choosing escapism. Many have basically given up, but it's not like they didn't try. They tried and they found out the juice just isn't worth the squeeze, whether it's college, dating, or the job market. And in a way, many young men are kind of choosing revolution. The never before seen large shift rightward in young men is a small revolution in a way. They're saying, this isn't working for me, this sucks, I hate this, I want something different. This is also manifesting on the Democrat side in general. The young men that are still voting left are voting further left. You saw this recently in New York City, where Zoran Mamdani, a self-proclaimed Democratic socialist, won the Democratic primary. Young men are tired of the establishment, left and right. They're tired of the system and they want to burn it down and start again. They want something that works for them because this is not working for them.
If you wake up one morning and you find yourself in a society where 23-year-olds with 4-year college degrees and like initiative who aren't smoking weed every day, if they can't make enough to buy a car, much less a home, much less get married, much less have children, then why should you be surprised when half of them say they prefer socialism?
Huh. Fox News should hire that guy. There is an entire generation
Oh my God. I mean, the issue, right, is like both sides kind of are the same if you go higher up. If you go high enough up. Like what how do you win? Like you the little man, me, whatever, we can't win, right? We just try, but some of us gave up trying, I guess.
of fighting-aged men who are enraged and feel like they have nothing to live for. You should probably start caring. When they saw this airing on Fox News, they saw an angry woman nagging in their faces about how everything wrong in the world is their fault. An all too familiar thing they have been hearing for far too long. But unfortunately for Democrats, nobody under the age of 60 watches Fox News, so this is not really going to have an effect on young men whatsoever. So keep that $20 million. You might still need it, unless we get dragged into another war in the Middle East. If we do get dragged into another war in the Middle East, young men might come running back to the Democratic Party. Maybe not even a George Bush II electric boogaloo will have men coming back to the Democratic Party. Hopefully we don't find out. And as I'm editing this right now, a lot of young people, even the podcast bros, seem pretty upset about the Epstein thing, but we know Democrats won't take advantage of the situation in order to protect the Clintons, so maybe not even this will save them, but we'll see, I guess. Hold on one second. That's better. So that was that video. What do you think of the male loser epidemic? Do you agree with Tommy Lauren? Is it all men's fault? Leave your comments below. I read them.
It's a societal issue. It's just a societal issue. We keep talking about societal issues. The people that are in power don't understand the younger generation and the problems that they face. And it just keeps being a problem. And I am so tired to be 100% with you. Like, this shit's draining. I'm tired of living a life where, like, every couple of months there's a once-in-a-lifetime experience I'm going to experience. I'm tired of that. That has been my entire life, and it's just exhausting.
I am probably reading them right now as you type them. Wait, don't write that. No, you can't say that. No, it doesn't matter if it's with an A. If you like this video, please subscribe, and if you can, donate to me on Patreon or leave a little tip with the little tip jar down below. I'll give it a little heart. It helps the channel, and I appreciate it so much.
Go ask her for a sandwich, guys. Go give her money and ask her for a sandwich. And I know that sounds sexist, but I'm talking about the VTuber sandwich. I don't mean like an actual physical sandwich. All right, thanks.
And I will see you guys again soon with a new video, a new slop video. because I know you gremlins love that shit.
I do. Yes. I do love that shit, actually. Is there a thing? Everyone keeps getting mad at me because I keep skipping the thing. There was not a thing. This is the end. You can read it. There was not a thing at the end. I waited. I'm tired. I'm just exhausted mentally and physically.